Hello Creative, welcome to another edition of today's tutorial, and thank you for keeping your subscription on with the Magic Maker. This is where we teach you how to make designs with Photoshop. In today's video, we are going to be looking at how to make carousel design. In case you don't know what I mean by carousel design, here's an example. So you have something like this, a lot of influencers and let's say business people use it to tell stories on their handle, use it to tell stories on their social media. So in case you see stuff like this on LinkedIn, but this is the portrait size. This is 4x5. That's 1350 by 1080p or 1080 by 1350. So here's just another sample just to give you the feel. So use it to tell stories, and the final variation. So we're going to look at how to do this with Photoshop. In case you have your content and instead of just typing it as a normal SMS, you just do a creative design like this to get the attention of your audience. So let's get this started. You open your Photoshop, the first thing you want to do is you need to know the size you need. So you need to know the account or the social media platform you want to post it on. You check the dimensions of designs that are favorable for the platform. So if it is Instagram, you know you're either doing 1080 by 1350 or a square. Then if it is Facebook, definitely you just check which platform am I going to post this on and what is the dimension that is supported by this particular platform. So what I want to do is you open your Photoshop, you do Ctrl N, and okay, I already have a preset here for the size, but in case you don't, you can create a preset for this. And the way to create a preset is to click on the preset details button. You name it Insta Portrait. I like to call it Instagram Portrait. How do you spell portrait? Instagram Portrait. P-O-R, I think. I don't know how to spell portrait. Interesting. Yeah. In case if I have one. So I'll just type the width. The width is 1080p, or 1080 rather. That's the pixels. And the length is 1350. So this is for web. We leave it at 300 RGB. What color do you want? Do you want to leave it transparent? I'll just leave it white. You can still change the background color. We can just use the color we want from the inception. So if we want a custom color, we just click here and we use a custom color. So I'm just going to use the color I have here by default, which I use for my previous designs at Robots Right on Instagram, so you could check that out. Okay, I can just save this as a preset and ensure to check the artboard option. It has to be on. If it is not on, it will not be easy to do it. You can still get it done, but then you'll be needing to calculate the number of images you want to use, then you multiply it by. It's just a long process, don't worry yourself about that. Just ensure you check the artboard option. Save presets, create. We have this, right? So the thing is, how many do you need? You don't know until you start to break down your story. So we are going to use a dummy text, that's Lorem Ipsum text. That's what we're going to use. So we activate our artboard tool. We click on the plus to add the various style. Control minus. There are a lot of things you could do with artboards. You could use it to structure your Instagram post if you want to break any picture into different angle. So here are 6 different artboards, but I like to leave them on a row. So you can always rearrange by clicking on artboard 4, you move it, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But your artboard tool is activated, you ensure you click on the artboard name. So this is just to show you how to move your artboard. So it's not compulsory, you could also delete and start again. But this is just easier in case you just want to move. So what we also need to notice is by the time we check the sample I showed us earlier, we see that okay, we have sort of like a trademark here, let's make magic, okay, but right, all of this. So you need to sort of create a template that you just paste on the rest. If you look at all of this now, the template is uniform. You may not add all of these details depending on your content and what you do. So it's just uniform across where you want to post it. So we could redo exactly this, or we could just get the concept clear. So I'll focus on artboard 1 first. I activate my grid. I type the text. So let's just redo that particular one. Let's make magic, then I change the color to white. Let's make magic. Okay, I have a selection on Ctrl D to deselect. Let's make magic. Then I can put my social media handle here. And just give this hash. Then to make it customizable a bit, I can remove the thickness of the legs. And for this, I'll just put my social media handle at Rocky Robots. Alright. Shift to move it about. Press your T. Remove the intensity of the bold effect. So you have something soft. Now next thing we can do is we check the style we want to mimic. Here we have brought to you by the Magic Maker on YouTube. That's the YouTube channel you're watching right now, myself. Then a YouTube icon. Subscribe to my YouTube link in bio, 1 out of 6. So you can just easily do this. Alt click and drag, hold the shift to ensure that it is locked on the same axis. I like switching on the grid so I can see the measurements. I can just have some sort of way to measure. 0.1/6. Or just to make it different, we just say of 6. Shift, click and drag to the very end. That is set. So what else do we need? Brought to you by the Magic Maker. Subscribe. Okay. So I'll just make a copy of this text. Ctrl Z, Alt, click and drag. Hold the shift to lock it on that axis. Then I'll just leave it here. Brought to you by the Magic Maker. I'll make another copy. Move both. Shift click, Ctrl C. Alright, Ctrl Enter. C. Brought to you by the Magic Maker. So let's remove the intensity of the bold effect here. Okay. Brought to you by the Magic Maker. Then we need a YouTube icon. I have a YouTube icon. So I have a YouTube icon somewhere here. Shoot F, clicking marks, no. Shoot A, promotional YouTube design. I'll just bring it in here. Resize it. Oh, I like the red. The contrast is beautiful. Beautiful. So I'll play around with colors here, red especially. V, then I use my arrow key to move it little by little, bird by bird. I will make this regular, medium. I don't want too much attention on it. Let's make it regular. Okay, this is good. Brought to you by the Magic Maker. This white, I want to remove the white here. I could just use overlay, blend options to just do that. Or click on Artboard 1 to zoom in. V to change to the move tool. Click on my icon. Let's use blend mode. So what I do is just to activate it. Once it is blue, I can use my arrow key to change. So I want to see if a particular effect will just remove the white and leave the red for me. If it doesn't, we just have to do that with a vector max. So no blend mode is doing that for us. I guess we'll have to go the hard way a little bit. Z, click on Z to activate your zoom tool or your magnification glass. So W to click, then Alt, click on the vector max icon to remove the white, Ctrl 0. Okay, I keep forgetting that we're working with artboards. I want to zoom into artboard 1. So let's see before, after, before, after, before. I think I like the white in it better. Yeah, let's just work with this. So the next thing we want to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel link in bio. So V, Alt, click, drag, shift. Subscribe. to my channel. You can change your move tool, Shift V to change your move tool, then use the arrow key, but it's going to take a time. So what I advise you do is just hold Shift, click and drag to the left, that's faster. So hold Shift, click and drag to the left, subscribe to my channel. C to go to your text tool, click on brought to you by. Subscribe to my channel, YouTube, link in bio. Okay. So you could move this here. But I would like the text above to be less than the text below. So I'll just copy the channel text, Ctrl X, Ctrl Enter, I'll paste it here. V, Ctrl Enter. Hold the Shift key. Alright. So the YouTube text, I'll just make the bottom text and make it all bold. Make it all bold. Then the YouTube itself, I'll make it red. YouTube link in bio. So you can make it black just to increase the weight of the font. Okay, so V to change your hand to. What else we want to do? Move to the right. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is we want to add the colorist, Rocky Robot Bond, visual designer, follow all 3 accounts to it. Then 2 of 6, like that. So I'll just cancel this. V, Alt 0. I don't know, I'm not just too satisfied with the red color I'm having here. So I'll just leave it as white. Ctrl Enter. So what we want to do is we just want to copy this template aside the brought to you by the Magic Maker. Shift Ctrl G. Group everything, let's say templates. Then I Alt click and drag it to Artboard 2 to copy the same information there. So let's check what we have in where's our design. So design just here. Okay. So brought to you by the Magic Maker, but we don't have the YouTube icon there. So I'll just delete the YouTube icon here. The next thing we need is text. The colorist, Rocky Robot Bond, visual designer, follow all 3 IG accounts. Okay. Follow all 3 accounts on IG. So click and drag, select both of them. You can hold the Shift key and click on anything. It selects it here as long as the auto select feature is on. Always ensure that your auto select feature is on. If your auto select feature is off, when you click on anything, it doesn't highlight it here. But once it is on, anything I click on the Magic Maker, it picks out the text here. Anything I click on, it picks it out. So always ensure that. Ctrl apostrophe to bring this out. Let me use my guide. Okay, then I see that I have to move this text backward because alignment is the key. When most of the elements in your design are aligned, it helps you get better, pleasant results for visuals that accommodate the eye. So the next thing I want to do is the colorist and just those 2 extra IG accounts. We move backwards. So I just copy these 2, follow 3, move it together, shift this, Ctrl J, Ctrl T, Ctrl Enter, Ctrl J, Ctrl T, J to duplicate, T to activate your transform tool. So I just move this here. I'll just write the colorist. Then I'll put my IG under here. I'll just copy this and Ctrl A, Ctrl C, Ctrl Enter, Ctrl A, Ctrl V, at Rocky Robots Bond, Ctrl Enter V. Then for this, the same thing, Ctrl V at Rocky Robots Designs and IG. So we can still work on the spacing, so we can move these two to the left, Ctrl T, move to the left, Ctrl Enter, V, select this, move it to the right. So when you hold the Shift key, remember it's lock the axis. So I'll just call this the visual designer. Okay, so the brought to you by, we see that it's not aligned to an extent. So I'll just use my arrow key to move it up a notch. Now we'll see that our general template is set. Okay, aside the let's make magic icon that is not there. So you could always download an icon. Let's just do it. Let's just do it like Nike will say. Flat icons, you click on more, flat icon, wand, magic wand. So this one I'm using there. Let me just use this. Oh, I like this one. So I'll just download it, download. Open the file, Ctrl X, take it to the folder for this, Ctrl Shift N, shoot EFG H, Carousel design, and I just paste it here, click and drag it here. So remember, we also need to do this for our master template, which is the first design. So I'll just drag this up here, Ctrl plus to zoom in, scale it down, Ctrl Enter V. So f of x, color value, white. Alt click and drag to make copies. Alt click and drag to make copies. Okay, we see that they are even. Alt click on Artboard 2 to zoom out. So depending on your taste, if you feel that is too big, you can always resize it. But then this is a demo. However, I can hold Shift, click on the three things I have here, scroll down, you see that they are selected. Move it down. Move it down. Ctrl C. I'll just use my move tool. Okay. Check it on. So what I'll do is I'll just move this one closer. I think I would like it closer. Move this other one closer. Then I'll replicate it for the rest, or for the initial. So Alt click, drag it to the initial template. So when we see that it appears there, the same positioning. So since we have this template here, we know that's what we want to use for the remaining one. So what we can do is close this template file, turn it off. You see that everything is in there. Change it to 2. So what we're looking at is how to build a template that we can just paste on the remaining artboards. So the next thing we do is Alt click and drag it to artboard 3. You see that it replicates the same information there. Alt click and drag to artboard 4, artboard 5, artboard 6. Let's zoom out, Ctrl 0, so that everything is copied there. But then, if you remember, in the last page, we still want to lay emphasis on the YouTube, on the YouTube channel. So the next thing we do is we go in from artboard 3, we change it to 03 of 6, Ctrl Enter. 03 of 6, 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 03 of 6 Change this to 4. Control enter, move to the next one. Edit the text. What I'm just doing is I'm clicking on an highlight and take a control enter. Take it, AB5. I don't know how to count anymore. That should be the fourth of us to strike. Alright. So put it on 5. Control enter. I blame that on my strike. Number 4. 6. Control enter. Alright. So we want this out here. Once we delete the rock robot bond, just click and delete, click and delete. If yours is not selecting, just remember the auto select feature, ensure it is turned on. Delete. So for the follow IG account, let's move this to up. Remember, we're just mimicking the initial design that we have on ground. So control enter. PC is taking a while. Been recording all day. All day. Alright, just bear with Legion. For I am Legion. Alright, then we need the YouTube channel, the YouTube icon. What I'll just do is I'll go to template 1. I'll just click and drag it down till I get to the top. Up we go, up we go, up we go, up we go, up we go. Yeah. Move it here. What else am I missing? I'm missing anything. Okay, then this beautiful text and the date and a very cool picture follow to see more of my memoir. I think I remember the font. That's Condiments. I like the font. I really do like the font. Okay, so just lower Ipsum text. Add bot 6, close, 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 close. Alright. Add bot 1. Now, what you want to do is just a tip. What IG does when you upload images that are more than a square is that it crops it up. So what you want to do is you can use the concept of a square. It has equal length and equal breadth to know exactly where to position your text so that when you upload it, even on the thumbnail section before the file is opened, you can see. And let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let's just visit Rocky Robots Right. Rocky Robots Right on IG. Look at this text now. If you see the full one, which is what I have here, see that it is very full, right? But by the time you check the preview, it is not everything that is showing. So what I can do to sort of create a margin where I know my text should be or ought to be is I'll just create a square. I'll hold the shift key to ensure that it has equal length and breadth basically. V. I'll change it to white. Ctrl C. So let me make it align to the edges. Okay. Ctrl Enter. Then I'll use the artboard adjustment section, which is centralized, to move it very well. So now, this is the region where your text ought to be, so that once you upload it, even though it is bigger than a square, by the time it is cropped, you get something like this, which is where your text lies. So I'll just create a guide here. I'll add another guide here, and I'll add one more guide here, then one more here, just to sort of create a margin. I can delete this. I don't really need it anymore. Auto select. Okay. I'll just delete that. I don't need it. So my text just have to go in there. I'll press T. I'll click and drag. I'll click and drag, then increase the font size to, let's say, 72. Okay, that's too much. With Botho bold. Black. Let's use black. Let's use 60. Or let's just use it. Okay, we can just leave the Impsum. We can leave it like this. So this is how it's going to appear. And if you don't like the spacing between the text, you can highlight everything and work on it here just to adjust the spacing. You can put custom sizes. If you look at it now, it's squeezed up a bit. So I'll just leave it like this, just because it's a preview, it's a demo. Control Enter V. Then the next thing we want is text here, right? But remember, we're not really done, so I'll just do that. Okay, so see. But then these texts are just going to be the notes you want to share with your audience, so they can be lesser, texty, just so that we can get a little bit more stories in there. And depending on how you want your style, you could make it lesser, you could make it bigger. It's just all about your preference, because design is really subjective when it comes to think of it. 28. We could just do 16. Then we could take out a lot of things. We could just leave it like this. Maybe this is the style you want, just short notes like that. Then you can put dot, 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 that it's continuous. It just depends on you know. So I'll just copy the same text. I'll copy it in the rest. I'll click on this, or click and drag, move it downward, move it to the next one, shift, click and drag, Ctrl Z. Okay, I have the whole artboard selected. Ouch. Click on the text alone, shift, click and drag. I can leave it in the center. Or click and drag to make a copy. I can leave this one at the bottom. I can leave it at the top, bottom, center. I'll just leave it here. Alright, so for this last thing, what do we need? How do we do it? Okay, follow more to see this, okay? Then a text, date, picture, alright? So let's just do something. Click here, change the font to Condiments. I love that font. I really like the fonts. Condiments. So follow to see more from, how is it written? From my memoir. Control Enter. I would use the text size to 11. Delete space from my memoir. Alright. So give this a different color. Follow. Click here. Sample the color. Remember, the color is subjective. You can just change this if it doesn't suit your taste. You could just use this. So we could use a lighter color. Let's use this. Okay. Alright. So follow to see more. Then we could just use, remember the color is very subjective, so you can just choose the one that you desire. The next thing we need is a text here indicating, what was it again? The memoir of a keyboard English mathematician and a particular date. So I'll just click type here. Let's use 24. The memoir of Rocky Robots, the English mathematician. Make the text color white. Then the next thing you want to do is let's reduce the size to 18. Okay, I think this is fair. Then we also need the date, the color of the date. So I'll just click and drag here. I'll change all of the colors to white. The reason why you have a question mark there is because we have mixed colors in just one particular text. So I'll just say 00, 00, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but then the font size is still sort of big. You could reduce it, but if you don't mind, you could just leave it like that. Then the last thing we need is an image at the bottom corner right there. So what I'll just do is I'll come to Rocky. Where do I have those pictures again? Birthday. So I have 25. Oh yeah, this. We could just use something else, or we could just use the exact same image or something similar. So the raw images I have here just take a time to load sometimes. So I just have to sort of relax. So let me just use the stripe. Let me use the stripe myself, stripe grid. So what to do is, let me use something a bit funny. You drag your image here, but once you isolate the image, so what you do is, I advise you unlock, you use the object selection tool and you let it to scan your image so it can just do an automatic selection for you. That's why it's still loading here. So if you don't have this on your PC, if this feature is not there, definitely you are using an older version of Photoshop. So you get this from 2022 feature or 2022 update. I hope you've learned something new in this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your friends who want to be graphics designer, visual designers and filmmakers, because that is what this channel entails. Don't also forget to subscribe to the channel of our sponsor, Active Leaders Online, whose base we are using to shoot the tutorials you'll be seeing on this platform. So at Active Leaders Online on Instagram and AL Online on YouTube. And I'll catch you in my next video.